A government was required by law to submit a fiscal impact assessment on the Exxonmobil Petroleum Agreement before Parliament approved the deal. But a year after the deal was ratified, the Finance Ministry has yet to comply with the Public Financial Management Act, which requires the ministry to disclose how much the tax waivers and exemptions granted the U.S. oil giant cost the state. JoyNews' Kwetinati has also been exploring why Exxonmobil was granted immunity under the Foreign Transaction Act, which imposes restrictions on transfer of currencies abroad.
In the official report of parliamentary debate on 3rd April 2019, the government of Ghana assured the Parliamentary Select Committee on Finance that the fiscal impact assessment on the Exxonmobil Petroleum Agreement to explore oil in Ghana's deep waters would be submitted to the House. This is a requirement under the Public Financial Management Act 2016. The document was expected to provide an insight into how much ExxonMobil's tax waivers and exemptions under the agreement is costing the state. The law provides that, quote, any legislation to be laid before Parliament or proposal submitted for the approval of Parliament shall be accompanied by a fiscal impact analysis stating the estimated effect on revenues and expenditures for the financial year in which the legislation or proposal is expected to come into effect. The fiscal impact analysis will determine the benefits the country will derive from the agreement and how this relief would impact the revenue of the country. But JoyNews checks have revealed government has failed to submit the fiscal impact assessment on the agreement. Former Deputy Finance Minister and member of the Finance Committee in Parliament, Forson, confirms to JoyNews the agreement was approved without this critical report. He's however disappointed that for over a year now, the government is dragging its feet and has still not remedied this breach of the law.
The government of Ghana promised us that they are going to cost them and bring them to Parliament for approval. It will surprise you to know that indeed a year now, government of Ghana had failed to provide to us how much is going to cost the taxpayer in terms of tax exemptions that we are granting.
But Vice Chairman of the Energy Committee, George Duker, defends government, arguing that such delays are characteristic of how Parliament works when it comes to ratifying agreements.
We just resumed at the appropriate time when we get to know the details. Yes, you know, some of these things. Yesterday I was in Parliament and I was having a discussion with a friend, and they said they came to Parliament to discuss 2016 audit report. I mean, PAC report 2016. It's not 2017. So yes, it could be a year, but I believe as far as this industry is concerned, I would say that we're still within time. Yes, it's good you are monitoring, you're tracking.
ExxonMobil Exploration and Production Ghana Limited, according to the agreement, is to explore its deep water Cape 3 Points block offshore for 25 years if commercial discovery is made.
This day has been a good day in the sense that we have brought into our oil space a company with the strength, the reputation and competence. And that nameplate, ExxonMobil, in our oil and gas exploration space will indeed give us a lot of credit in the industry.
We are excited to bring our technology, and as you said, you know, we have a unique place on that, and we are looking forward to working here, to opening an office here, to working with you to hopefully find and have success in this ultra deep water.
It's a good day for Ghana, and I hope it's going to be a good day for Exxon. It's been a relatively tortuous road to bring you to Ghana, but you're here. And I want to welcome you very warmly.
Government came under a backlash from civil society groups, including the Public Interest and Accountability Committee, over this deal. They sounded the alarm because open competitive bidding, which is the recommendation of the Petroleum Exploration and Production Act 2016, was not followed. This is a position the former Deputy Finance Minister, Forson, has supported in the past. But chief among the worries of the former Deputy Finance Minister is a blank check of waivers and exemptions brought to Parliament a year ago. Mr. Forson places the cost of waivers and exemptions at billions of dollars based on discussions with Finance Ministry officials.
The back of the envelope calculation that we have done is that this is going to be in billions of dollars, unfortunately, but it has not been costed, so we're still waiting.
What would these waivers and exemptions mean for oil-producing communities which have been anticipating the entry of such oil giants to improve their livelihoods? The Cape 3 Points community is the epicenter of Ghana's offshore oil exploration activity. I am on my way there. The roads leading to this community are among the worst in the country. They are dusty, bumpy, and narrow. Motorists spend hours navigating this road. Nana Kumjahine is a Jasahine of Akode. He says post-harvest losses are common here as a result of the bad roads.
Enough during Kufuor era. We want to him even the post on the black front page of Daily Graphic that from Sangro to Akode Road has given to contract. So since Kufuor time, government after government, we have in fact we have pushed even this Kufuor this government. We are one that tries. Kufuor during the first campaign, during the first time when he was doing the campaign, he came to Akode here. And if you rather told us the basket of the road that whenever you get the chance, you do the road for us. Up to now, nothing has happened on that.
The plight of these fishing communities is worsened when the rains come. Health workers like Regina Amwa says she and her colleagues have to be carried on the backs of male colleagues as they wade through floodwaters to their duty posts. Her main worry, however, is the effect of such poor roads on maternal and infant mortality rates.
When it rains, we the health workers, we find it difficult to go to work. And then our patients here, the community members also find it difficult to visit the clinic because the roads are very, very bad. Somewhere in June, we had an incident where a pregnant woman was visiting the facility and unfortunately she fell and then she was rushed to our facility and then later on she was also referred to DISCOF for further management. It's really tough for us. Sometimes we have to remove our footwear, walk in the rains like that. At times too, we have to be carried at the back.
Civic activists and communities of the Cape 3 Points region say there is another vexed issue, the immunity granted Exxonmobil under the Foreign Exchange Act 2006. This immunity allows the oil giant to transfer foreign currency out of the country freely without restrictions. Former PIAC chairman, Dr. Steve Mantiao, claims that this immunity was granted because Bank of Ghana officials were sidelined in negotiating the deal.
The impression was created at the time that Exxonmobil was entering into a fresh negotiation. No, it wasn't actually fresh negotiation, but they were continuing with the negotiations that commenced under the previous government. But as I noted earlier, those negotiations ended with no contract and so they had lapsed. So if Exxonmobil was coming back, then it was coming back for fresh negotiations under fresh terms of reference. And so had to be subjected to the new law which had been passed in August 2016, that is the EMP Act, which requires that open competitive bidding becomes the default arrangement for contract negotiation in Ghana. However, the government misled all of us. I mean, the current government, the NPP government, misled Ghanaians into thinking that it was only continuing with the negotiations started by the NDC government, and so there was no need to go through that new default position established under Act 919, which is the open competitive bidding. And so, in constituting the negotiating team for Ghana, government succumbed to demands from Exxonmobil to exclude the Bank of Ghana from the renewed negotiation process.
According to the official transcript of Parliament's debate on the agreement, government officials said that the Bank of Ghana had agreed to waive the restrictions for Exxonmobil because of the effect on the operations of the company and the potential benefits of oil exploration and production that may accrue to Ghana.